driving coast to coast. He's the man with the most. He's got no time to boast. His truck is Naomi, the big white whale. She's the one rod that will never fail. Across the country they both sail. He's American Cupcake. American Cupcake. He's having fun, just watch your cupcake run. He's American Cupcake. You know what else makes him great? He's been to all the lower 48 states. He's seen all 5 of the Great Lakes. He leaves all the others in his wake. This name's Cupcake, for God's sake. So you know damn sure he's not fake. Because he's American Cupcake. American Cupcake. He's having fun, just watch your cupcake run. He's American Cupcake.
Buenos días. ¿Qué onda todos? Aquí soy American Cupcake. Vamos a hacer el review de la película que se llama El Hombre Lobo. Ay, cabrón, disculpe. Disculpe. All right, sorry, I had to change the settings. I was in Spanish for a second there. Sorry about that. But no, this is American Cupcake, and I am going to do my review of Wolfman, the brand new movie by Blumhouse. Quick history on Blumhouse movies and stuff. Let's make sure we got. So, we all remember the Tom Cruise movie, The Mummy. That was supposed to be the brand new, oh my God, the brand new Universal monster movie garbage. And that movie flopped. It was just stupid, boring. So they forgot that. They got rid of it, got rid of the big budgets. And then something awesome happened. Blumhouse got the Universal movie monsters rights, and their first movie, it was Lee something was the writer director. He wrote the first 3 Saw movies. He did the Invisible Man, and that was a different take on the original Universal Invisible Man. That was pretty good. It didn't, not too big of a budget. It was perfect. The next movie they decided to do was, let's show this again, Wolfman. Now, the difference between this Wolfman and the Wolfman that, the Lon Chaney Jr., the Moon, the Silver Bullets, none of that's in this movie. This is not your typical werewolf movie. They never say the word werewolf. Lichens, what was it? Lycanthropes. Yes, those. That is not mentioned. The very beginning of the movie starts off with text, and it says, in 1995, a man went wandering in the woods, and he was infected, and the other stuff that I don't remember. It said the natives called it wolf face man, wolf something. So this is there's a feral dude chilling in the woods. So the movie opens up, young boy's in his bed. He he gets his alarm clock, and he gets out of bed, and he right away makes his bed, gets it all set up. So right away we know that this kid has overbearing parents. They're is that better? Very strict. He gets downstairs, he's eating breakfast, and his dad goes, "Get your hunting stuff. We got to be ready by 0700." So by 0700, dad's really militant. So they're walking in the woods, going hunting. Kid's got his rifle. Dad's got his rifle. Excuse me while I quench my thirst. Yes, Pilot coffee. For anybody who goes to the Pilot truck stops, here's what you do. You get the intense energy coffee, and then what you fill it halfway, maybe 3/4 way, so and then what you do is you get the cinnamon bun iced coffee. And then you have cinnamon flavored coffee. And it's not iced coffee. Anyway, I digress. So they're going out into the woods, and first of all, let me tell you, was it an excellent movie? Before I go into any more synopsis, was it an excellent movie? No. Was it entertaining? Yes. Was it kind of predictable? Yeah. I mean, there were times when the characters would say a line, and I didn't even upload my not even on this phone. No, it's on this one. Well, I went to a screen. It was almost a private screening. I was the only one in the theater until 2 other dudes showed up. So it was just me and these 3 other guys. They sat way back behind me. But it wasn't. It was okay. But like I said, it was very predictable. There were times when the characters would say something, and right away, I would, I would say the next line, and sure enough, if it wasn't that exact line, it was a derivative of that. Now, I will say I was wrong about 2 major things. One thing was I'm always looking for Chekhov's gun. If you don't know what Chekhov's gun is, a playwright, I can't remember his first name, but it's Chekhov, yes, like the nuclear whistle. But he said if you see a gun in the first act of a play, you better use that gun by the third act. That gun is going, shut the fuck up! You better use that gun by the third act. You're going to see that gun used by the third act. So I'm always, and this kind of takes me out of movies a little bit, but I'm always looking for Chekhov's gun. So they're going through the woods, and the kid sees these mushrooms, and the dad, he's touching them and goes, "Hey, don't touch those! What? Those are villainous, destructive cat mushrooms. They'll kill you if you just look at them, or you'll need a new liver." I thought that was going to be the Chekhov's gun, that the boy was going to use the mushrooms to feed to the Wolfman. I was wrong. Totally wrong about that. We never hear about the mushrooms again. That's the only time you hear about it. That was a device that in the movie that the dad could, that anything in the forest could kill you. So you got to be careful. So dad and kid are going, and they see the kid's looking at something. I popped that picture in here. I hope I did. Of course I didn't. Did it even fucking download? Oh, yes. We will add that now. So the kid's looking through the scope, and he sees this. And it's only for a second, but you're like, wow, okay, all right. So there's a monster. And then it goes right to the dad, and then you turn, and the kid's gone. And when the dad was up there with his gun, I was like, oh, the kid's going to be gone. Sure enough, camera pans to the kid, he's gone. But then you see the kid running, and he's looking, and he figured he would get a better shot. So the dad comes out, what are you doing? So it's really clear that the dad is an overbearing, militant, just not necessarily an asshole, but it's not even implied, but you can extrapolate that something dangerous happened to mom. That's why mom's not around, and that's why dad is super duper duper overprotective of the kid. So, when the dad was kind of a dick at the very beginning. He's like, oh, 700. Let's go. We got to get out here by 700. And, they're going, oh, this could kill you. And then the dad's like, look, anything in this forest can kill you. You have to be vigilant, you have to be careful. And that's where you can kind of guess, okay, they're trying to imply that's, probably something happened to the mom. Dad's super overprotective of his kid. Great. Cool. Solved it. Done. The monster then, they can hear it and go, they can hear this snarling and snortling. And then they find this deer blind. They go up in it. And, the monster's right there. And then, then it goes away. Next scene, they're in the house. Dad is on a CB radio, a ham radio. Very important. This was the Chekhov's gun. Not really, but so he's talking to his buddy. Yeah, I saw it out there, and you got to come out, and we got to go check this out. And then the guy on the other end of the radio goes, "Okay, we will. I'll bring Derek, my son Derek. We'll go out." And goes to black, and once again, predictability. I said 15 years later. It was 30 years later. 30 years later. And then this is this next part that I was wrong about. I was waiting for this to happen, and it never happened, and I'm glad it did not happen. But then we see the main character's name is Blake. So you see an older Blake, and he's there with his daughter. And I'm thinking, okay, great. We're about to see, to quote Admiral Akbar, we're about to see girl bossery of that. We're not going to be able to repel girl bossery of that magnitude. I was wrong about that. There was no girl bossery at all, and I was pleased. I was pleased at that. I thought this was just going to be, because the blonde broad from Ozarks was in it. Well, shit and fuck, that one. She's in this too. She's really good in it. So they're at the museum. They're walking. Daughter gets up on something, and he goes, "Hey, get down. Get down. Get down." And then, she doesn't get down, and, he's like, "Oh, my God, I'm turning into my father. I can't do You know what? I'm so sorry. I was yelling at you. I was just like, shut the fuck up. You're yelling at your kid. If you have kids, yes, if they're doing something that you said no to, yeah, I'm going to digress a bit here. But yes, if you have kids, one time, no. One time. And then, then you give them a say, "All right, motherfucker." And then you say this in your head. And that, so anyway, so he is a new modern, we're trying to convey that he's not going to be like not going to be like my dad, man. My dad was overbearing. So they get back to the house, and he's making dinner, and, you're thinking for a second there, okay, cool. It's going to be, dad and daughter. But then the blonde broad from, I wrote down her name somewhere. The blonde broad from Ozark shows up, and she's this is another reason why I thought we wouldn't be able to repel girl bossery of that magnitude. Because dad's cooking dinner, he's a stay-at-home dad. She's coming in on the phone, she's a journalist. "Oh yes, but see the story. How did you get?" She's way into it. And the dad, he's, "Hey, can you take that phone call someplace else?" And she's like, "Stop, just stop." So again, that was another reason why I thought there would be just massive amounts of girl bossery. I'm pleased to say that there was none of that magnitude. There really wasn't any at all. It was really good, actually. I'm very surprised that the girl bossery was not even evident. Like, there was none. It was great. He gets something in the mail. It's court documents. Grady, his dad. Oh man, they finally decide. They finally. My dad. They finally declared him dead. There's a set of keys. So they're like, "Oh, you know what? My dad. My dad finally. It's finally. Said he's dead. So here's all the. Went through the probate, and if you've seen Roger Rabbit, that probate, you have a problem with your probate, you got to take these big pills and drink lots of water. So so they're getting set up. They're going to Oregon. It really doesn't say where they live, but they're driving to Oregon in a big box truck. I'm not in a box truck anymore, but so they're driving, and they lose GPS signal. Oh my god! Do I have a? They lose GPS signal. Exactly. So then they see a guy, in a deer blind. He's driving up, and he's obviously got his hunting rifle, and he's like, Dad, Blake's like, all right, well, we'll ask him if he knows anything. And the wife's like, no, stop, he's got a gun. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? No, you can't do it. He's got a gun. And then again, predictability.
Watch out.
Exactly. Watch out. See, that's the one time I won't shut you up because you were right on there. He goes, everybody out here has guns. And that was exactly, watch out for people with guns, I guess. That was the one time that I was dead nuts on with the line. Everybody's got guns out here. So sure enough, they talk to the guy, and this guy that they meet with the gun, is the kid Derek, Dad's friend's son. Like, oh, you haven't been here in a while. God's been, yeah, this is my land, and your land's over here. And it's like, oh, well, hop in. And, wife's like, no, you can't do that. Oh my God, it's got to, So they get in, they're driving, and then I think I took a picture of it. Did I? Hijo su madre, no, ese es el hombre lobo que me hizo hablar español. Este parte no va a ser en español, disculpe, pero va a ser en inglés. Where was it? Was this it? No. That's not it either. Wait, was this one it? No. Well, pretty much like this. There's, they almost hit somebody, and then they go off the road. This is a cool scene, it's tumbling over, and then the truck is sideways in a tree, and the guy, Derek, he, the door opens up, and then, he falls, door opens, truck's on its side, right? He falls out, he's laying on the ground, and everyone's like, oh my God, are you okay? You okay? Okay. Then they hear the snarling, and all you see is Derek getting pulled away. And you're like, oh my God. And as Blake goes to, reach and shut the door, Monster comes back, scratches his arm, and then goes away. He shuts it. They get out. And then, yes, listen. So they get out and walk in, and then it's the middle of the night. There's parts of this movie that are just it ruined my suspension of disbelief. The suspension of disbelief was gone. Thanks for the 25 of you guys hanging out with me here. Oh shit, I'm not even checking my comments. ¿Dónde están los lobos? Los lobos para bailar la bamba. Invisible Man. Was it? Oh, okay. It was good. Okay, so we'll go back to the movie. Let me get these. Nice. Hey, what's going on? Echo, how are you? Badass bitch. Deport Cupcake. Hijo de su puta madre, si soy ciudadano, güey. No mames. So this was a part that was stupid. Middle of the night, in the woods. He was there 30 years ago, and then he's like, oh, wait, this is familiar. Maybe. Maybe. So they find the house. They get in. And they start talking about, let's see, which one was it?
Here, can you write it down?
So this part right here.
Tell me what's wrong.
I'll go back to that. So he starts, he's sweating, he's they're trying to, their cell phones don't work. They're trying to get communication. And so they go in the basement. He remembers his dad's ham radio, his CB radio. This was another thing that, took me out of the movie for a second. All they did with the CB radio was plug it in and turn it on. You didn't hook up the antenna. You didn't hook up the booster. You didn't, and to be fair, they never reach anybody on the CB radio. Okay. So that part was all right. They didn't reach anybody, but they, didn't hook up the radio, didn't hook up the antenna. So, and the fact that they didn't, it wasn't until the end, okay, cool. So they never really did get in touch with anybody. So, all right. So the CB radio, the antenna with the radio, that really didn't matter. Cool. And then, fuck, are you drinking? Oh, it's, what time is it? 10:30 where I'm at. So yes, if this were later in the evening, you could play your Cupcake drinking game. How many times does it say, and then? So therefore, trying to get this radio, and the broad from Ozark is, is like, hello, hello, hello. And the guy goes, do you smell that? And he's sniffing around. Then he finds his dad's in the basement. He's got this room where there's dried meat. There's a couple things of, a couple ham hocks there. He's like, hey, I found food. This is my dad's jerky. He takes a bite and it crunches and he goes, ow! And his tooth falls out. Didn't think anything of it. If you, at this point, I was, even though there were those little, oh my gosh, this is familiar. At this point, I was sold, and I'm thinking maybe that the smell of the meat was rancid, and that's why you could smell it. That's why you could eat it. It wasn't until later that I thought the wife didn't smell it. It was just him. So they go back upstairs. Wife and daughter go to sleep. And then he's sitting there by himself because there is a monster out there, chase, they got in there. Oh, and in the house, there's like bars all over the window. There's these big security doors. So, and then the dude hears like people walk, somebody's upstairs. It's like, oh my God. So he goes upstairs, doesn't hear anything. And then he hears more walking over here. So he goes over here and he goes in the room where the walking is in this room. Then he looks, and this is when this motherfucker's turning into a werewolf. Because you hear the walking, and I thought this was really cool. This was a really cool part. You hear the walking, and then there's a spider walking on the wall, and the spider's footsteps are what he's hearing. So it's like, oh, so this guy, no. It was at that point when he heard the spider walking, I was sold. I was in. I was all in at that point. I'm like, okay, this guy's turning into a werewolf. Now we got it. We're in fifth gear. Let's go. Cruise control set. Done. Let's rock. I think I got a picture of the family, didn't I? Yeah. Here's the family. So that's, like I said, the broad from Ozarks, Blake, and I think the daughter's name was Ginger. And yes, that is the character's name, the mom, the broad from Ozark. It's in the credits. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. El hombre lobo, hijo su puta pinche madre. So that one. All right, so now we're getting to this part. So he's obviously starting to change. The change happens very fast. This movie only takes place throughout one night. And almost said it. So he can't talk. He's, and he can't understand at this point. He can't talk. He can't understand his wife. He hears them and they talk backwards, just to show that, okay. And then the camera pans, it shows. So you're the wife looking at the husband. Camera pans to behind the husband, and then it's it's like a black light comes on because their eyes start to glow and he sees all this extra stuff. So at this point, he is already under the infection of the wolf. Oh fuck, I forgot. That's right. The wolf creature scratches his arm, and it's getting worse and worse. So the wife wraps it up. And then fuck. Almost was perfect. So they're laying down, and then this part.
Here, can you write it down? Just tell me what's wrong.
Now, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen this.
You're sick.
Changing.
That's all, but
Changing.
we're gonna fix.
Changing. In the movie, it says dying. So, like, oh no, we're gonna fix you. So they're getting along. They're dad's, he's losing his fingernails. Like, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. So at that part, that's how the dad changes. Before that, I just wanted to show you because it's kind of cool. They see the dad's old truck, and here was another Chekhov's gun as she's rooting around, looking at the CB radio, the ham radio. They find a set of keys. They just discard them. The broad from Ozark sees the truck. Oh my God, I remember seeing a set of keys. Jesus Christ. And so she gets the keys, gets the dad who's undergoing the changing. They get the daughter, they get the truck. And there's a battery and jumper cables. Perfect. She grabs those, brings them out. See, that's what I'm saying. There were parts of this movie that actually grab, like, okay, great. She was smart enough to grab the battery and the jumper cables so that you wouldn't be thinking as a movie watcher, oh, great, the car's just going to start. No, she grabbed the battery to try to jump start it. Can we talk? So she's starting, she jumps it. Oh my God, it's not starting. Finally turns over. She's, oh my gosh, great. Shut up, I'm talking now. Fuck, I don't need you to say shit. And it's at that point that, did I get a picture of that? Fuck. Well, that's when you see, that's when you first actually get your first look at the monster. It's right there in the windshield, breaks through, and the monster grabs the gear shift of the truck and rips it out. I like that. I like that a lot because it shows that while this is a feral beast, still has some recollection of human stuff. So I thought that there's a lot of parts in this stuff that I really liked, and there are parts that I didn't like at all. Although probably the first act is, I was kind of going in there with a chip on my shoulder, and it was after that. It was probably when he heard the spider steps and he thought they're regular footsteps. That's when that's when I bought it. I was like, okay, I'm all in. No, So they run inside the house. No, they run out. There's a greenhouse with a plastic cover. They climb on top of it. the wolf creature goes into the greenhouse, jumping up, scratching the plastic, gets cut, go into the house. It's chasing him throughout the house, and it there's a fight, and then spoilers, the wolf creature after they kill it, and there was no silver bullet, no silver knife, none of that mythology. This was an infection. It was an infection, plain and simple. There was no there was no lycanthropy. There was nothing, no mythology about it. It was an infection that turns people into feral monsters. Thanks to the 29 you hanging out with me. Thanks a lot. So they kill the monster, and then they see they see the dad's tattoo. So it's oh my God. That's why it took so long for them to declare the dad dead. He turned into the monster. He was infected. So they go on. Then the dad starts to change, and they do it quite a bit. I think they did it more to remind you that the dad can't understand, but they did do that he can't talk and he can't understand what they're saying. So they did a lot of that where first it's, from the broad from Ozark, and then they turn the perspective and it's, the black light. And what they did was they had it like the audio backwards. They had him speak backwards, and then but it was muffled, but you could kind of tell it was backwards talk. So they're running out, and the mom grabs a gun. And again, this is when I thought we would see girl bossery. We can't repel girl bossery of this magnitude. Thank you, Rocco D. That's exactly what it was. So, they go up into the same tree blind. And when the dad and the kid, when Blake and his dad were in the tree blind, the deer blind, I'm sorry. There, you could see, you like the heat signature, when it's cold, you can see the breath, and it was obviously the dad, coming up the stairs. So, and he had just enough humanity to know that he can't, he's not going to attack them yet. Like he had enough of his humanness left to where he was like, all right, bitch, you have to kill me. And there was something else in the movie too, where like the dad and the daughter, he would whenever he'd yell at her, he would say, what am I thinking right now? That you love your daughter. Oh my gosh, can you read minds? And at the so they go up in the tree blind, dad's chasing them through the woods, they go in the deer blind. That's when this part happens. She's pointing the gun at him. And at this point, the little girl goes, he wants you to shoot him, and she's like, no, I can't do that. And they saw that the monster, the dad, saw that this wasn't going to happen, so he lunges, and she shoots him dead. So he's dead, falls down, and I was a little disappointed in the ending, where the mom and the daughter are walking, and they go off, and it's at the very beginning of the movie, the Grady and Blake, the dad and the guy, when he was a kid, and the dad's like, don't you just love this? Look at all this beautiful country out here. And it's the same scene, but with the mom and the daughter at the very end, and that's how the movie ends. So it's kind of ambiguous. It's kind of ambiguous as how if they actually got back to civilization, but they did defeat the monster. then who's to know if it's going to happen again, because this is a virus. But, yeah, we're gonna give it 4 cupcakes. Only due to the predictability. You know, even when I was bought in, even when I was all in, it was still kind of predictable. Like you knew it was going to happen. Like there was, but at that point I didn't care. You know, when I first went into it, it was, you know, a lot of eye rolling. Let me tell you, a lot of eye rolling in the first act. But yeah, after the spider scene where he heard the spider walking, I didn't care at that point. You know, the inconsistencies didn't really matter because I was bought in. You know, the movie had grabbed me at that point. So it was it was overall I was entertained. I was very entertained. I do, while I'm not a horror movie fan, as far as like, you know, Jason and Freddy, as you know, I'm not too into gore. I'm not into jump scares. You know, that there are quite a few jump scares in this actually. Um, but it was more of seeing your loved one being turned into an animal and then have them attack you, and then you having to make the final decision of, are you going to off this person, or, you know, or are they going to get you? So other than that, it was, I recommend it. You know, go see it. You know, it was good. If you like, I do like the new twist on the Universal monsters, and I'm waiting. I can't wait for the next one. I don't know what the next one's going to be. I could probably research that and find out. But it was, I'm rather enjoying these new twists on these monster movies, where it's not just the same, you know, oh, there's a gypsy curse, and, you know, by the moon, and, you know, the Invisible Man takes this potion and he's this, and I'm really enjoying these new twists on the monster movie trope. Now, I did see some trailers, and one thing that I have to say is there is a new movie trope that is getting old very quickly. It got old, and there was basically 3 new movies that are coming out, and the basic plot of the movie is two of them really, Working Man and Short Round's new movie. Not, is it Love Hurts? Fuck. To the Google. Love Hurt. Oh yeah, Love Hurts. Was that it? Yeah, Love Hurts. So Love Hurts and The Working Man. They are basically the same movie. You know, regular dude. Hey, how's it going? Oh my gosh, yes. Oh. Bad guys come, they disrupt something, and then the main character, Jason Statham in Working Man and Short Round in Love Hurts, you know, they have to, you know, they're secret agents. They, you know, this is in their past life, they were, you know, secret agents, and they were, you know, they had super duper fighting skills, and they need to use those super duper fighting skills to get exactly. Watch out for these movies. Yeah, and that seems to be like a boring movie. And with the Jason Statham movie, it was, you could tell that's what it was going to be, you know, just by the trailer. You know, and you know, I mean, the trailer says it all of Working Man. You know, dude, God damn, roll up my window here. Um, these guys come to the construction site, and he's just a regular working Joe. He's just a regular just a regular average Joe working stiff guy. But then he, beats the ever loving piss out of these guys that are bothering people. And oh my gosh, how did you know how to do that? Jesus Christ. And then the girl gets kidnapped, and then he just find our daughter, please. You have to get her. You have to use all your skills and your powers to find our daughter. So yeah, and then the short round's new movie, or Data from the Goonies, Mr. Nobody. Is that another movie like that? And the short round movie is or Data, whichever one you're familiar with. Pretty much the same thing. He's the writer and director of Wolfman did that movie Upgrade, where it's a regular dude, but he gets these powers, and then he's like, I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm just beating your ass, and it's just natural. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So and the third movie, kind of like that, is this movie Novocaine. And this guy, he's the main character. I don't know who he is. I think I've seen him in other movies. I want to say he's the guy from the 50 Shades movies, but I could be wrong about that because I really didn't care that much about it. But he can't feel pain. And then he's, oh my gosh, you're a superhero. You can't feel pain? So then, of course, his girl gets kidnapped. He's got to go out, and, he gets relentlessly. And the gag in this movie is going to be in Novocaine. The gag of this movie is they did in the trailer. Like, and that's another thing about trailers nowadays. Like, they show you the whole entire movie. Like, I've already seen these 3 movies, and they're in 2.5-minute slots. But this one guy's torturing him, and the guy's like this, and then he remembers. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, that hurts so much. Ouch. Oh geez. Oh, that hurts. So. I mean, will I see it if I have time? Probably, just to get of those 3. I think I'd probably go see the short round one because I like him the most of the 3 main characters, or the 3 main actors. Now, there's another movie coming out called Heart Eyes. That it's this serial killer that just kills couples. So I want to say it's a take on the Son of Sam, quite possibly. Oh, watch the movie The Beekeeper. State the movie. Count the bee puns analogies. It's fucking hilarious. We might have to do a drinking game watch on that, Nimrod. Let's all smoke here. Bobby Dick, if you're around, light one up, baby. So again, Wolfman, 4 cupcakes, only because of the didn't get 5 because of the predictability of it. Other than that, it was entertaining. I was very entertained by the movie. I had a big smile on my face the whole time. Once I was, once it grabbed me, I was in. Cinematography, the movie's good. It's dark because it takes place all at night, all in one night. Other than that, I am in. I'm not in Mount Vernon anymore. I'm in Walton. Oh no, that's not where I'm at. I'm not in Walton, Kentucky. Damn it! Where the fuck am I? I'm just across the border from Kentucky and Indiana. I am in Hobstadt, Indiana. I already picked up my freight. Picked up my load. Fantastic. Let's. Oh my God, where's my? Good job, Nimrod. As I bust Joey's balls. Oh yeah, Nimrod. Yeah, Nimrod. He's good. He's a good guy. That Nimrod. Yeah, he's good. And I correct him that all the time. Exactly. But I am going back to where I was in Ohio, about 7 miles away. So I'll get there at about 7 o'clock, by, Eastern Standard Time. So that being said, I will probably go see another movie today. And that's why I've been lazy, so that's why I haven't been streaming a lot. But I haven't been able to do a lot of stuff recently because I've just had a lot of long runs. 14-hour, 15-hour drives. Like I said yesterday, I was in New Jersey, had to go to Orlando. Normally 16, 17-hour drive took me 29 hours because I was driving on a sheet of ice from fucking, what was it? Almost Maryland, Virginia, all the way to Georgia, and almost to the state line of Florida. When Florida got that snow, yeah, so it was hundreds and hundreds of miles I was driving on ice road truckers. But yeah, I will probably go see another movie today because I absolutely will have time. I don't know what movie I'm going to see. I will probably begrudgingly go see Brave New World, if only to prove that the Red Hulk is in it in the last 5 minutes. Because if you watch the trailer, they show Anthony Mackie, Captain Falcon America, in the cherry blossoms, but you don't see Hulk there. But I got a feeling that he's only in it, like that's gonna be it. Like but other than that, I will leave you be. Thank you for joining me for my review of Wolfman, El Hombre Lobo, and I will probably talk to you tomorrow morning with my new movie review. I will post it on. I'll set it up on Twitter, and we will go from there. So, with all that being said, anything else I need to show? Anything else? No. So yeah, 4 cupcakes for Wolfman. Go check it out. It's totally worth it. It was entertaining. No girl bossery, like I said. Again, I cannot stress this enough. I was absolutely expecting to not be able to repel girl bossery of that magnitude. But thankfully, there was zero girl bossery. She did what a mom had to do. She wasn't, it was good. It was really good. I've actually never really seen a Blumhouse movie before, but I'm going to see a lot more. And I will probably, I'll put a poll up on Twitter. I may do some movie commentary tracks where, when I have, if it's late at night, I may just watch a movie and record myself watching the movie, doing commentary. We'll probably do a movie I like just to get it under my belt, and then we'll do movies that I have never seen before. But yeah, if that interests you, absolutely, you're welcome. If that interests you to hear my opinion and you want to join me as I do a commentary track on movies, I will probably start doing that. So with that being said, let's get this one more time. I love this. What? Mwah, everybody. And we will catch you on the flip side. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, share this. And why don't I do this real quick? Everybody's grifting. If you like what you see and you want to help out the cause, $ American Cupcake on Cash App. Venmo is at American Cupcake. And with that being said, I guess this is goodbye. So bye, everybody. Bye.
Reviews and stories all the Reviews and stories all the
and stories told.